All right, welcome. Today we're going to do a little bit of diaphragmatic breathing, and I'm just going to have Deneen get into what's called crocodile pose to make that happen. So you'll need a blanket. We're going to take the blanket and open it up, and then I'm going to have her roll it up into kind of an elongated Tootsie Roll, which sounds delicious right now. And crocodile pose is on your belly in a prone position. You're going to take the blanket and bring it over the top of your breast tissue, and this can create a little bit of a platform for you to lie down in. You can put it on the floor, or you can do what Deneen's doing, where she's propped it up and then came onto the floor. So once you get onto the floor, you're going to take your fingers to elbows and scoot your elbows in enough that you create a little bit of an incline, so there's a little bit of a back bend. Some of you might scoot your elbows in closer so that they're under the shoulders a little bit more. So Deneen's got them pretty far out. Yep, like that. And you'll notice that creates even more of a back bend for her, or you might extend the arms further forward. This really is a starting point. So once you've found this position, if you feel like a forehead onto the forearms is not going to be sustainable, then make any micro adjustments with the posture to make it work for you. You just want to make sure that your face is not smashed into the earth. And some people will even stack hands in front of the other, they'll have arms next to each other, but you want a slight incline there. And then for the rest of the body, you're going to have your legs extended and toes wider than hip distance apart and turned out slightly on the mat. So she's relaxing out, if you can see here, she's relaxing her toes there. And then again, wiggle out any adjustments. You might shake your hips side to side. So this is really about finding a position that allows you to rest and breathe. You might take a clarifying breath once you arrive and close your eyes. And once you find your pose, there's going to be no need for you to look up anymore. You can just listen to the guidance of breathing. And the first thing that you want to notice is feeling your body here supported on the earth. One of the reasons that we do diaphragmatic breathing is that it initiates that parasympathetic nervous system response in the body. That is the calming, the relaxation response. And it can start to undo some of the tension and stress that's created by the other part of our nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, which is used when we're stressed or in fight or flight responses. So when we feel the ground beneath us and we feel that support and we turn inward, in yoga that practice is called pratyahara, a withdrawing from the external sensory experience, we're more able to start dropping in. Crocodile really supports that diaphragmatic breathing in this way. So the diaphragm attaches to your ribs all the way around, and it draws air into the body. It lowers down and the lungs expand, and then as you exhale, it rises back up. In this position, you can't help but actually breathe diaphragmatically. So you feel the ground beneath you, and you feel on each in-breath how the belly presses into the earth. And you can start to tune into this sense of flow and current of breath. I feel like breath is one of my most favorite offerings of the yoga practice. You can amplify yourself, you can calm yourself, you can cool yourself down. And the breath is benign in and of itself and in its offering. So connect to that full circle of breath and feel how the in-breath releases effortlessly into the out-breath. When we're stressed, we hold after in-breath. We don't allow the breath to move freely. And so in this posture, you're allowed to rest and feel that current of breath coming in and out effortlessly. We attach to that sensation of full yogic breathing here, where the breath is smooth and continuous and deep. It's even in nature, so the in-breath and the out-breath are about the same length, as well as those gentle pauses in between. The metaphor I often attach to in those pauses in class is this experience of being on a swing set. So you know when you swing up one side and you're at the peak of height, you don't hit a wall and stop and hold. You actually just pause for a moment before releasing back down the other direction. There's a mindfulness in this breath, and that you are letting your attention rest here on the simplicity of this moment and this breath. Each breath a new opportunity to come back into breathing, to come back into the moment. So resting here and feeling the back rise and fall, breath by breath. And notice sometimes when we pay attention to the breath actually changes its behavior. It'll take a moment for the breath to find its own natural deep rhythm. And it's a very normal part of the process. Yes. And so as that deep flow starts to find a very continuous rhythm, there becomes a little bit of effortlessness and sense of ease and peace in the depth of breath. And there's your gift of diaphragmatic breathing. With this breath, you are able to really tap into the natural and most simple, basic state of things. You can feel yourself connected to the rhythms in nature, the ebb and flow of tides, the changes of seasons, the rising and setting of sun and the turning of the earth. No matter what's going on outside, you have this breath that can serve as a compass and a tether for every moment. Pausing and breathing in this way, creating this space to breathe, if you can every day, allows you this very beautiful foundation, this wonderful platform to move forward and to return to in moments of stress. Your body knows what to do, and simply dropping in and watching the body's majesty at work is a very powerful practice. You can stay in this breath for 10 minutes a day. Even if you can only carve out just 3 minutes, taking the time to rest, to ground, to breathe deeply, be very nourishing. When you feel ready to complete your diaphragmatic breathing, are you ready to come out of crocodile pose? There are a couple things that you can do. If there's been any tension that has been created through this laying down, the first thing I like to do is bend my knees. So Deneen, you can go ahead and bend your knees. And just let your feet kind of lazily sway left and right. This loosens the pelvis a little bit. Yeah. And then just come back into center and let your feet relax back down on the earth. Take another deep breath. So this breath doesn't have to leave you after this moment. You can still remember to breathe deep and ground yourself. And so the next thing that I do is I'll press back into a child's pose of my choice, just to stretch out the back. This is a passive back bend that we were doing. So now child's pose is a passive forward bend, a really gentle one. So just taking a moment, I oftentimes will set an intention for the day or reconnect with the mind. Perhaps there's just one word that might be nourishing. It could be just as simple as breathe. And then I walk my hands in under my shoulders and come upright. Yeah. So thank you so much. This is diaphragmatic breathing in makarasana, crocodile pose. Thanks, Deneen. Yeah, and thank you. Have a great day.